King Director of Athletic Communications, Travis Chell here with Blaine Brown, head baseball coach. Thanks for joining us, Coach. How you been doing this last month and a half?
Well, I tell you what, I have learned a lot about appreciation for our school teachers. I got a whole new appreciation for them with homeschooling and the amount of patience that they have. So,
Yeah, I'm sure with three little ones at home, it's been a whole lot of fun. Looking back at the season, you guys had just played a couple games the week when the NCAA kind of shut everything down and everything kind of stopped. Talk about that week and then just kind of conveying that message to the guys and kind of their reactions.
yeah, it's one of those things that I'll probably never forget that 24 to 48 hours that happened right there at the end of that week. We'd played that week. We were actually playing on that Wednesday. We were on the road at UVA Wise, and there was a lot of the talk going on about the coronavirus, but it's still not the seriousness that we are as of right now was going on. And some of the guys had come up to me and said, "Hey, did you hear about the Ivy League canceling their spring season?" And that was the first kind of slap, like, "Hey, this is really serious that it's gotten to this point." And we were scheduled to actually leave on that Thursday, the next day, and we had pushed it back just out of precaution of, hey, if this thing goes, crazy, then we need to allow a little time just to make sure. And on the ride home from UVA Wise, I called Coach Hicks and just said, "Hey, do I have to worry about anything, or should should we make alternative plans? Is there anything?" And just out of precaution, and I'll never forget his answer. He was like, "Actually, yes." The cabinet is meeting tomorrow. There are discussions about cancellation of seasons, and he started throwing all this information at me, and I was absolutely, it was just so overwhelming. Never forget it.
Yeah. What was kind of the guys' reactions the next day? I think you were able to see them before everyone kind of departed. What was that like, and how have they come back since then?
Yeah, so what I did is when we got back from UVA Wise that night, I pulled the seniors, the captains on the bus, and I just gave them a heads up. I'm like, I don't know where this thing is going, but I just want to give you a heads up. We have an open policy on our team, and I just want you to know this is a possibility. I have no idea. Mm-hmm. And then come to find out the next day, that's when they made the call as far as canceling that trip, and then to going forward the rest of the season. Yeah. And that at that point it was suspended until the conference had suspended it until I believe April, mid-April, I believe at that point. Mm-hmm. So we actually got all the guys together, and that was, once again, with all the memorable moments of this whole ordeal, that was something I'll never forget. We brought all of our guys out to the stands, and I told them, I said, "Fellas, I'm just going to be real with you. This is the closest thing that I've ever experienced to September 11th, where there's so much unknown, there's so much fear, and not a lot of answers." And I said, this is a great example in our life of never take anything for granted, that anything at any time can be taken away from you. And, whether that be a baseball season or a loved one or a job, just to appreciate what you have. And, I told him this is going to be something as hard as it is right now for you. This is something that you will always remember and tell your kids about.